Time now for the way you see it. Your comments via social media, and you're commenting on last night's debate. The first comment comes from John. Writing in about debate winners and losers, he says, Cruz and Trump both hit home runs. For Bush, Kasich, and Carly, it's lights out. Next up, it's Larry talking about Donald Trump. He says Donald Trump was honest about immigration, even if it hurts his votes. I like his attitude. And finally, Gina weighing in about what Dick Morris had to say in our post-debate special. She writes, JD asked Dick Morris what he thought about a Trump-Cruz bumper sticker. Dick said, no, Republicans will want a woman. I think that would be wrong. We need a vice president that's good for the job based on values and ability, not gender. Thanks for your comments. If you want to add your comments, just send them to us, newsmaxtv.com/comments. Finally tonight, we call this day Veterans Day, but originally it was known as Armistice Day. The armistice to end what the history books now call World War I. The people who fought it believed it was the war to end all wars, and at the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, it came to an end. It was not the end of warfare, but even in peacetime, there are those who wear the uniform of our country who are willing to protect our freedom. So tonight, we paid tribute to the men and women who have served our veterans. Happy Veterans Day 2015.
It was called the War to End All Wars, but instead it only served as a prelude of worse things to come. It was the world's first universal war, with the nations of the United States, United Kingdom, France, Greece, Italy, Russia, and 19 other countries declaring war on Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, Germany, the Ottoman Empire, and the other European-based nations. As the wars before it, and those after it, this war would prove to be a long, bloody, and costly conflict. For the first time, chemical weapons were used in organized warfare. In 1915, the Germans unleashed 150 tons of chlorine gas at Ypres, Belgium. Then 2 years later, used mustard gas against the Russians at Riga. World War I also gave birth to a new form of battle called trench warfare. Opposing armies would build elaborate trenches opposite one another, protected by barbed wire. The trenches themselves became havens for disease and life-threatening infections due to poor drainage and sanitation. The area between the opposing armies became known as no man's land because it was fully exposed to artillery and small arms fire from both armies. Attacks, even if successful, often sustained severe casualties for both sides. So when it finally came to an end, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, soldiers from both sides greeted the news with great skepticism. Neither side dared to let themselves believe their long nightmare had finally come to an end, leaving an estimated 8.5 million people dead and some 21 million wounded. The actual peace document, known as the Treaty of Versailles, was not signed until 6 months later, on the 28th of June, 1919. Although the face of the civilized world had forever changed, 21 short years later, history would again repeat itself. For Newsmax TV, I'm Bill Curtis, and this is an American Moment.